by the authority invested in me by the Galactic Council of Life and expired contract given to the meek, I evict all the wicked imposters off the planet Terra/Earth immediately. If we can get on that tip all together globally and say this, we can go ahead and straighten out the elevating our intellect and stuff like that without interference, persecution, or imposition from these dirty ass imposters.
There's only one part that ain't clicking for you. We on a galactic clock on a schedule. And to us, it looked like we not moving. Shit ain't happening. But on the grand scheme, we exactly where we're supposed to be at the right exact time to get this shit done at the right exact time. Truthfully speaking.
I peeped that years ago.
Right? So, as they say in the Nation of Islam, we on time with this one. We can pontificate, we can dialogue about it, but the reality is, when I made that first public notice to them motherfuckers in 2019, the shit was over.
Yeah.
It was over. They was evicted. We was victorious. I went through all of their motherfucking tests. I passed them all. Right? So now all we got to do is watch the schedule unfold. See if you can figure out the schedule is the only challenge. When do we reach critical mass and make the bells and whistles and shit come on? That's all it is now. Critical mass.
Would you call it critical mass? I'm calling it on the one.
Well, the one is the singularity we all trying to get everybody to look at. Critical mass is when we got enough people for it to take hold and it can't be stopped. Mm-hmm. We already at what we call event horizon. We ain't no turning back from here. It's like a game of chess, and we playing the last 8 moves out, and you can't escape the checkmate. They already been checkmated, and they know it, so they just want to make it take as long as they can.
That's a good a metaphor you brought about the chess game too, which brings me to Messiah, Naya El Mahdi, reaching out here and getting everybody on this vibration that we call Nuwapi, and that goes into the calibration. I wanted to show a few more herbs and vitamins, everybody's the ideal, but I do know that all of this stuff is set up on the galactic clock, and that
say nothing until we organized. Just can't get no orders till we organize grassroots level.
Yeah.
The work you doing, bringing me on here to even talk about this, is our efforts to reach out to our people and tell them we got to return to our traditional oral traditions in order to throw their false, artificial, legal fiction, de facto corporation acting under the pretense of fraud off the land. Can't use their system to throw them off the land. That has nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
But what has something to do with us is our system. So all of the OGs in California is organized. They wait. On the West Coast, they ready. They have moves being made to cripple the financial stability of the opposition on the land on the West Coast. Right? So this is what you seeing going on there. That's why the governor was saying it was lawless in California. That's what he's talking about. Everything is well organized and it flows smooth. That means that they are operating in a military capacity among the tribes. They are only attacking institutions that hold economic prominence on the land.
Fight Club.
Right? So they was robbing those rich billionaires that we don't even know over there. They was up in their cribs and shit because they hitting them in the pockets.
Yeah.
Right? So this is the way the tribes from the West Coast say, motherfucker, if you on our land and we can't have none, y'all can't either. If we can't have peace at home, y'all can't have peace in our house.
Indeed.
Why would we let you come in our house, give us hell?
Mm-hmm. They live nice.
Peace.
Mm-hmm. Living nice.
Right? So they gave the appearance of legitimacy using the system of uniforms, labels, and titles. And that's what tricked us into thinking that the police was actually our friend.
Mm-hmm.
Them motherfuckers don't give two drops of shit about us. Anything you say to them is the wrong thing to say to them.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Because they only looking to find a reason to lock our ass
Lock
up.
you up. Yep.
They're not trying to solve a crime.
Mm-mm.
They're not trying to bring justice to the community.
Wait for you to slip up.
They trying to find more food to feed their prison industrial complex.
That's it.
Now, the more arrests they make, the higher they move up in rank, the more raises they get.
Mm.
You see a parallel here?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So once they get to be detectives, now they get to go undercover in the community and start some real shit.
Yeah.
Right? But we see through all that shit now, all of their tactics, we documented that shit and shared it in the public domain. So we know what they're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't no secret no more.
Yeah.
So now all we got to do is look at the tactic and we can trace it back to the source.
Yeah.
And you got the enemy exposing itself trying to be an asshole.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yep. There is a question here, but I got one more question before I'm going to do that. That question, because you brought something to my mind. I know we ain't really talk about space, but I'm going to do something that still affects all of us, dealing with, us coming into the sun cycle and solar flares. What type, could you break down the importance of us being now in the sun cycle and the solar flares and how they affect us?
If you go back to I think it's the 18th dynasty, Tutankhamun, you see Akhenaten has a picture of the sun over his family, and at the end of each one of the rays of the sun, there's a hand.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So from the sun, we get information, data, input. The sun don't even have to be real for the purposes that it's being used for.
Mm-hmm.
It's emitting gamma rays, UV rays, UVBs, all these different spectrums of light is coming from the sun. That's the center of our solar system.
Mm-hmm.
Right? As this energy comes to the earth, it gives us information on a DNA level.
Yeah.
Right? So the way that I'd like to describe it is information of life comes in from the sun on angles of light.
Mm-hmm.
And these angles of light are angels of light delivering messages to the righteous.
Mm.
I meditate on the water because the water amplifies the message as I become the receiving vessel.
Mm.
I can get a clearer message and it's much more louder. Right? Mm-hmm. So the streamers in the matrix is the same as the rays from the sun.
Mm.
But the same way we get rays from the sun, each star that's perceptual is also sending light rays to the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Those stars manifest in the form of human beings. We call them star seeds.
Mm.
Right? Mm-hmm. The earthborn children of the sun are the originals. Right? And they are the oldest tribes around the world.
Mm.
Right? So we communicate with Mother Nature because when we ground to earth, it's the same as grounding the antenna on your radio in order to get a clear reception on the box.
Indeed.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So back in the day when I was little, we had what we call rabbit ears for antennas on the TV.
I remember those.
Right. But then sometimes we had to use the clothes hanger and tinfoil.
I remember those.
But this is because we're trying to get a good reception.
Indeed.
Now, everybody got a different psychic ability. because they told us that if we do anything of a psychic nature, we are insane.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us suppress our natural psychic ability.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way to reignite it is to start practicing as if you know how to use it.
Yeah.
Right? So we use oracle implements like tarot cards, the runes, the I Ching, the crystal readers.
Mm-hmm.
All these is just
Pendulums. Mm-hmm.
all and pendulum. All those are training wheels.
Mm-hmm.
The one that you're drawn to tells you which psychic ability that you naturally want to enhance.
Okay.
That's why you're drawn to it.
Indeed. That makes perfect sense. Okay. I'm gonna let this question go because I know they put in here, and I got another one after you. But the question is, so what happens after people start cleaning out their filters?
When you clean your filter, your organism functions at a higher level. You can facilitate a stronger electromagnetic current, which generates a stronger electromagnetic field, which causes a denser aura, which allows you to be a much more firm and stable person overall.
Makes sense. Another question I have specifically dealing with conjuring, and metaphysics on our, okay, dealing with like hoodoo and as we know, Native American metaphysics, is that something that is all connected to, to Africa, to Kemet, Samaria, whatever the case may
Okay,
be?
those sciences, like, okay, so these are denominations:
Mm-hmm,
Voodoo,
mm-hmm,
Hoodoo, Wicca,
mm-hmm,
Santeria,
mm-hmm.
Brujeria. Those are saying the same with the ancient culture is
Mm-hmm.
saying denominations in the Christian church,
Mm,
right? So they're all
mhm,
part of the ancient arts.
mhm,
Now, when we come up and we begin to become astute in one of them, let's say Hermeticism, we
okay.
then become required to study all of the rest of them in order to get an overview of what mysticism is really about.
Now, now, is it? Do you think it's something as far as somebody like, if you're native, to the land? Do you think is it still up to your choice, kind of to, um, how do you explain it? Like, do you think that you would gravitate more so to something more so native, as far as if you are like metaphysically, um,
Look,
looking for? Uh-huh.
our natural swag is the
Mm-hmm.
nature of
Mm-hmm.
tribes.
Mm,
Our natural swag, the way that we just are. Like
mm-hmm.
the people in New Orleans is a certain way. They love
Yeah.
a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
They share family bond a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
You try to take Mardi Gras from them, and they come from all walks of life. They gonna fuck you up,
Oh yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's not gonna be personal,
Mm-hmm.
right? You gonna have a problem if you try to take Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
That's a cultural thing. That's part of the nature of the tribe on the land down there.
Mm-hmm.
The tribes from down there, we didn't just have Mardi Gras in New Orleans. They
Mm-hmm.
call it the Grand Carnivals in Brazil now,
Yeah.
right? It's the Mardi Gras.
Mm-hmm.
It's a giant festival. You got different ones. You got one that's supposed to be like the Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the type of Mardi Gras festival to recognize the ones that crossed over as warriors. Then you have, let's say, um, all of those festivals that they have. You be seeing them in South America a lot. Those festivals is cultural festivals that if the enemy would have tried to take that from the people, they would have had no rest on the land. That's just as simple as that. So it
Mm-hmm.
kept our cultures intact,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Sea walking, crip walking, that's an
Mm-hmm.
ancient conjure. Bee
Mm.
walking is the flip side of the same conjure. Cricket
Mm.
walking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have in Detroit, we got what we call Jit City.
Mm-hmm.
In Chicago, we ballrooming, we stepping, right? So all of these local traditional dances is the tribal instinct to develop a cultural link through dance and music. We naturally do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. Whew. As always, you hitting, brother. Please support the brother. I finally got it right. It's CASHAPP, SIKAPE, capital SIK. Oh, sorry, capital SIK, capital APE. And thank you. I got to go back to this individual because they they were like, "You struggling there, Zosa? You're gonna have to get it right." Who is it? It's divinely guided reading. She stepped in and got it right.
Oh yeah, they don't be playing.
Nah, I see. What I'm saying? That's tight. We appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Because we gotta support each other, man. That's just the bottom line, man. We gotta support each other. Real talk, brother. I'm so happy. You know what I'm saying, that you were able to come on. You know what I'm saying, and answer these questions, and even for me, just continues to build. I'm learning every day, and I appreciate you. Just building. From a student to an elder. I know we all master we all master students. We're trying the best I be, but I appreciate you coming on and giving this information, man. And I wanted to warm up, man, because you already know I got some more nastier questions I want to do, in the heavier questions, I should say, not nasty. Well, maybe both, I don't know. But heavier questions in the future. So I'm hoping that we can link up again. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Anything
for
else you
sure,
want to
for
give?
sure.
Pardon me?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely. I
yeah, yeah.
appreciate you having me on here, getting the word out to the people.
That's it, man. Hey, if we don't do it, who's gonna do it, right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's the bottom line, man. If we ain't gonna do it, if nobody's gonna do it, we just sitting there looking crazy as hell the whole time, and we can't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a sun cycle. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop remembering who we are. You know what I'm saying? These good brothers, like the good brother Rod Hayes here, he's assisting doing that, man. So please, like I said, support this brother. You know what I'm saying? Please, again, follow. What are all your pages? I know you said a lot of pages already full up, and
Yeah. So I'm on Rod Hayes on Facebook. My profile often changes, my picture, but the name stays the same. Rod Hayes.75 on Instagram,
mhm,
and Morpheus Mysticus Megas, which is pinned to the top of my Rod Hayes page.
mhm,
Right, so that's where I'm primarily at. You
mhm,
catch me sometime on Young Elder.
mhm.
Sometime I'll be doing the live with Dr. G on Reawaken Minds.
Okay.
Right, so this is just trying to get the word out to the people. So I appreciate you having me on here.
You doing it, brother. You know what I'm saying? You doing it, man, because I told you before when we first started talking, I told him, I said, I might have to call you Uncle Rod, man, because you remind me of my, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the type of vibe you get. I hear that all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? People can connect with you, man. You sincere, you're real, you got the knowledge, you ain't, playing no games, man. Uncle Rod, I like that. You
You
know
know,
what I'm
that's a common I got a whole lot of nieces and nephews,
saying? Okay.
right? And then they got friends,
Uh,
right? And they friends call me Uncle Rod.
Uncle
So
Rod, yeah, I can see that.
shit.
I see.
I got nephews and nieces that's from fucking 52 to damn 2 years old.
There you go. Uncle Rod, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's I also, like the analogy of Big Mama. You know what I'm saying? It's just because when you paint that picture, and I think about it all the time, man, because I was even before I always saw like the this, the source of everything, as we in our language we call Papa Ut. But the source of everything is just a big mom that just wants to take care of you, just sits back and just saying, so I brought you to this planet. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? What are and she'll nurture you and she'll whoop your ass, you know what I'm saying, at the same time. But
Mhm.
and I love that analogy, man.
And she gonna tell you to sit your ass down right now. You ain't got no business out there in them streets. And I don't want to hear no talk back. And y'all, you gonna be saying you don't know why you doing it because in your mind you cussing her out. I ain't gonna listen and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But when she tell you, you just say yes, ma'am.
That's it.
Right? And you
Mm-hmm.
be like, what the fuck just happened? Big Mama spoke.
My mother.
That's it. Don't nothing else need to happen. Because
know
if you
that.
piss Big Mama off, she gonna call Big Papa, and he gonna put his foot in your ass.
That's it. You already
You
know.
know. And then if you think he too old to tussle with you, and you strong enough, he got one of them boys or two of them boys that's gonna put your new world in order.
That's it.
Ain't no
That's it.
disrespect at Big Mama house. Period. That's all it is to
That's
it.
it.
That's the law of the family.
That's it.
Right.
The
So we
right-
gotta all get back to Big Mama house.
Big Mama's house. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you man. I'm telling you, man. I love listening to your lives, man. Because I think you were breaking something down, about Django, and even so, dealing with the slaves, Native Americans, all that stuff. It all starts making so much more sense. And I put it right in the movie. Samuel L. Jackson sitting there writing all the checks when old boy, what's his name, Leonardo DiCaprio, he out there masquerading like he's really the front, but Samuel L. got all the power behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? It's all making sense, man. I'm telling you, bro. Because like I told you before we went on here, I was watching when I was reading the first time I got that book, Let's Set the Record Straight by Dr.